Okay, to talk more about fashion as a recession indicator, we're joined by Christine Russo. She's a podcast host of What Just Happened, which covers the retail industry, tech, and innovation. Christine, you're the perfect person to have on the program because we've been talking about this all day long. While people have been talking about recession fears, while fashion's biggest night unfolds, it really is the ultimate contrast, really, if you look at it. What do you think this fashion divide really tells us about the U.S. economy right now?
Hi, Sean. It's great to be here. Thanks for having me. Well, I mean, the Met Gala is the epitome of fantasy, desire, art as fashion. So that's really the most extreme. It doesn't really influence the way one might think, all the way down to someone's closet and what's on the racks in the store. Recession core actually started to the early adopters in 2022 when the stock market had that October 25% drawdown. In the following month, in November, Alexander Michele left Gucci, and he was sort of the poster person for maximalism, romanticism, vintage, and art. And we started to see muted, more professional, non-logoed, non-grandiose fashion. And what's happened over time is that it has reached the masses. We had a great run up in the stock market, but the quiet luxury was an emphasis on luxury. Now that we're in this fall down again,
Yeah.
we're still doing quiet luxury, but now at a lower price point.
Yeah, I think everybody's struggling for the word, what do we call this right now, because it's really right in the middle of it. Okay, social media certainly has a way of saying everything is a recession indicator. Tell us how much stock you think we can put in this, because that excellent story we had leading into you really did kind of define in a very easy way the way people will either save money, spend money.
If we want to make the assumption that on social media it's comprised mostly of consumers and small businesses, and not the Wall Street sort of looking at the big enterprise numbers and predicting whether a recession is coming or not, when consumers and small businesses are paying more for less, everything is going to be deemed recessionary.
Yeah. Okay, so what about the hemline index? It's been around for the better part of 100 years. Has it been fairly accurate in predicting economic downturns?
I would say maybe until like modern times. I did an analysis going back to the 1970 recession, 69, 70. And what's interesting is that there were recessions at the beginning of every decade, the 70s, the 80s, the 90s, the 2000s. And if you look traditionally, fashions change in the first couple of years of each of the following decades. So you go from hippie to yuppie, yuppie to grunge, grunge to minimalist. So I think we're at the point now where we're saying there are external factors affecting that hemline analysis. I will say that in March, there was a 353% spike in searches for maxi skirts. So maybe I'm wrong.
Okay, we'll just have to see that. Okay, what we're seeing going on in New York is really the ultimate contrast. Economic anxiety meets extreme luxury. So how bad of a position do you think apparel retailers are in as consumers shift toward this recession core? And right now we're looking at just some of the amazing outfits that celebrities and stars and designers wore to the Met Gala tonight.
Well, by definition, New York City is the ultimate melting pot of socioeconomic entities. You've got the richest, the poorest, you've got people from all over the world. So that's a given. But as far as the apparel industry per se, there's a cost structure shock, obviously. And if the incentive, if the meaning behind this is to bring manufacturing back to the United States, New York City used to be the epicenter of apparel manufacturing. And in the past 20 years, the gross square footage dedicated to apparel manufacturing is down 93%.
Wow.
That was a concerted effort by governments from city, state, and national to transform the United States into a services business.
Interesting. Okay, so let's pick up on that and talk about the role that you're seeing in tariffs impacting both the luxury world and fast fashion.
Well, it's impacting everyone equally. And you've had a lot of confusion. You've had the fast fashion, Temu and Shein say, oh, we're going to raise our price. Oh, we're not going to raise our price. luxury, being luxury, can sort of take a longer view. Watches, the watch category went up slightly. They only increased it part of the overall tariff amount effective last Friday, May 1st.
Hmm.
Now, again, if this is about shifting sourcing, that will take a very, very long time. So the scramble is real.
Yeah, the scramble is real, and no one has explained, I think, in a simple way how this would actually work, bringing back industry very quickly. So I want to pick up more and talk about the recession core. Is this a worldwide trend, or is it just focusing on the U.S. right now?
Well, I actually think we're at the peak adoption, the adoption chart where like you sort of have early, middle, and then everyone's talking about it. I think we're at peak, which means you only go down from there. I also think that the industry is very primed for a shock. There has been a lot of creative director changes,
Mm.
and people need change. The industry is based on desire and want, and they drive what happens. And so it's very, very possible that by the time we finish our analysis on recession core and everyone's out buying basics, that the industry starts to pivot to something a little more dramatic. It's a wait and see. That's the beauty of the luxury and creative industry.
And to pick up on what you're talking about, prime for a shock. Do you think that there are areas of fashion that may see an uptick in consumer purchases, like clothes, et cetera?
I actually think we're going to see the basics. The ones who might benefit from this, in my opinion, are the Uniqlos, the Gaps.
Ah.
People are going to go out and buy T-shirts in every color and pair them with cute jeans, and that's where we're going, I think.